Hi again, my name is Nick Paddock. I'm an Associate Director of International Admissions at the University of Cincinnati. I'm happy to have you here today for our Co-op and Experience-Based Learning Information webinar. We are going to do a short presentation first to share a little bit about experience-based learning at the University of Cincinnati and to dive into co-op a little bit more. After, we'll have our student ambassadors present about their experience and then do breakout rooms for you to move around and talk with our 3 student ambassadors about their experiences and have your questions answered. Before I begin, I do want to share that we do have a chat box on this app. You are welcome to ask your questions there. And of course, you can wait till the breakout rooms to ask your questions to our student ambassadors. Before I begin, I'd like to introduce the rest of our team. Stacy, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks. My name is Stacy. I'm an admissions counselor at UC International Admissions. I was also an international student from Trinidad and Tobago. So it's been a lot of fun to be on the other end of things and helping other international students.
Thanks, Stacy. Tanisha?
Hey everyone, I am Tanisha Dushara. I'm a 4th-year computer science major and I'm also an international student, and I am a student ambassador at the University of Cincinnati, and I'm happy to be here for the presentation.
Thanks, Tanisha. Coop?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Coop. I'm a 3rd-year biomedical engineering student. I'm also an international student from Vietnam, and I'm also an international student ambassador. I'm very happy to answer all of your questions about my major and anything else.
Thank you, Coop. All right, so experience-based learning, what is it? So at UC, 100% of our students participate in some version of experience-based learning. There's many options you can see on this list. Students can partake in more than one, so it's not limited to, you can only do clinicals. So many of our students partake in study abroad. That gives opportunities for our students here in the US and international students to study in another country for either a full semester or take a class on campus and travel for a week or 2 in another country to be immersed into that culture and have an educational experience that will apply to your degree program. There are scholarships for this program and thousands of our students partake in it every single term. Capstones, that's your senior project. That's your final project at the end of your 4 or 5-year degree program where you get to show off everything you've learned in your program during your time at UC. Service learning are classes that we offer to our students. These are classes where you will learn about our community and do community projects in the Cincinnati area and gain college credit for that time. And research, we are a tier 1 research institution, right? So we have lots of opportunities for undergraduate students to work with faculty, graduate students, and PhD students from our university, and additionally other organizations and companies from the first semester all the way through graduation. So that's a really strong point for our university to promote. Artistic performances are robust at our university. We have the College Conservatory of Music. It is a renowned conservatory with students for musical theater, acting, singing, opera, music, many more programs. They organize about 1,000 performances per year on our campus. That's the most in our state, and the performances are phenomenal. And student teaching, for those of you who want to be educators, student teaching there's a lot of opportunity in our city. We have many different school districts and different levels of schools that you can work for. Clinicals are for all of our pre-med and our nursing students. So we have about 5 hospitals around our campus, and they provide volunteer opportunities, research opportunities, and of course, clinicals for students to gain that professional experience while they're in school. And co-op and internships. This is what we're most known for. This is something we're very proud of, and I'll talk a bit more about that through the next slides with Stacy. So cooperative education and internships provide work experience for students in 2 different ways. So for internships, it allows students to work while they're in class. So while you're in class, right, taking 5 classes in the evening, or maybe throughout the day, you can work 5 to 20 hours per week for a company here in Cincinnati, physically, in person, or remotely, right? You're going to gain that professional experience, do projects, but typically that work is not paid for. Okay, so I did 2 internships while I was in college at UC. I had a great experience at 2 different museums. However, it wasn't paid for work. So cooperative education provides a much more extensive work experience that is 3 months long. It's one full term, and it provides direct information into your profession and for you to gain skills. So it is mandatory for our College of Engineering and Applied Science students. It is mandatory for our College of Design, Architecture, Art, and Planning students, and it is mandatory for our Information Technology students. And we'll talk a bit more about how many co-op terms you will do per program in the next slides. It is optional for our Linder College of Business students. They can do 1 up to 5 semesters of work. And then it's optional for many of our programs in the College of Arts and Sciences as well. Co-op 2.0, that's something new at UC. It's about 2 years old. It allows all students at UC to participate in co-op. Typically, those co-op opportunities are on campus versus the other arts and sciences, business, information technology, design, architecture, art and planning, and engineering opportunities that are in the United States and internationally. When you do a co-op, you get paid. So you'll work about 3 months for the full semester at a company, right? And you are paid typically about $10,000 US for your time. And that is your money. It goes into your bank account. You can do what you want with it. Typically, students use it to pay off their tuition or some of their bills, or maybe their parents want money, right? And they give it back to their parents to pay them back for everything they've given them. So it's up to you how you'd like to use that money, but it is a great way to offset the total cost of your education at the University of Cincinnati. So I'll hand it over to Stacy.
So our students have worked with over 1,500 companies worldwide who love working with them and helping them get the experience that they need. Some of these companies, as you can see on the screen, are BP, BMW, Nike, Reebok, Tesla. The list just goes on and on and on. So you're probably wondering, how does this work? If you look at the example on the left, you can see that there's a breakdown of the schedule of a business student. The first year, the business student would be on campus the full year, classes in the fall and spring, do whatever they want during the summer. The second year, they would return back to campus for classes in the fall, where they would start preparing for their first co-op in the spring. So since co-ops are optional for business programs, the student can do 3, 4, or even 5 co-ops if they would like. The student in this example chose to do 3 co-ops all in the spring semester and then attended classes in the summer semester, so they were able to graduate in the regular 4-year time period. The example on the right is an engineering student schedule. So this is a little bit longer because engineering students are required to do 5 co-op rotations, and they'll start that second year, as you can see on the spring semester. They'll rotate between school and working full-time for a company until their 5th year, when they're back in school for fall and spring semester again. They're not paying any more tuition, so it's 5 years of school for 4 years of tuition, and they're earning about $50,000 for all 5 co-ops. This helps build students' resume and prepares them for a professional career after graduation.
Thank you, Stacy. Something I do want to mention is that we are ranked #1 in the United States for co-op and internships among all US public universities, which is really exciting. So we have a lot of opportunities for our students at UC. Currently, thousands of students are partaking in co-op and internships during this semester. Next up, we're going to have our student ambassadors talk about their experience with experience-based learning, right? And they can share more about what it's like in the breakout rooms, to more about what it's like to take the co-op class to prepare for their experience, what it's like to find these opportunities on our campus, who they network with, right? And how they go about finding these different opportunities to take part of. So I'm sure you got many questions, but you can definitely ask them there. So first off, I will hand it over to Coop for him to talk about his experiences.
Thank you. So my experience, I had my first co-op in San Luis in Washington University, and I work as a research assistant in a biomedical informatics lab. And as you can see here from the images, besides the work that I'm doing, I'm also had the opportunity to visit St. Louis and some of its beautiful places, which is very nice. And I also was able to meet a lot of new friends in my cohort of the program, and I enjoy every aspect of it. So the next spring will be my next co-op term, and I'm hoping to do my research in Cincinnati Children's, which is a very big hospital next to UC, and it also attracts a lot of UC undergraduate students come there to research, or there are many also other positions that you can do. So I would say the co-op program has helped me a lot in finding these opportunities and also helped me explore new cities in the US.
Thanks, Fook. Can you talk a bit about the preparation course you took to prepare you
Yes.
for these experiences?
Sure. Directly there's a intro to co-op course. In that course, we discuss a lot of aspects about how to design your resume, how to design your elevator pitch, how to cope with the new environment in the US when you start working. And there will be a lot of practice for you to understand how the work culture is and how to just prepare yourself best for your first position. Besides that, you can also take like many other preparation course like math, physics, chemistry, and also some of your intro to major course. And after you take those courses, you will be well ready for your first position.
Thanks, Fook. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna
No
hand it
worries.
over to Yasmine.
Good morning, everybody, or good evening, or good afternoon. So like Nick said, my name is Yasmine Makaram. I'm currently a senior, actually, double majoring in cell molecular biology and Arabic. So with that, well, on the pre-med track. So with that, I'm not mandated to do a co-op as a student in the College of Arts and Sciences, but just recently, actually, we are starting to work on a program that involves healthcare. Which is what I'm interested in as a co-op. So the picture on the left here is actually probably the best experience I've had so far, and it is officially a co-op. So we work as a healthcare explorer at UCMC, which is the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. And we essentially get placed in a division and we get to work there for a semester. Part of the co-op, we also attend a seminar, which is hosted by the UC College of Medicine. And so, having that combination, we get to kind of discuss and kind of synthesize everything we're learning in those seminars, which are applicable to all students. So it's not specifically what we're seeing on the unit, let's say, but more of, bringing doctors in, bringing different types of health professionals in and hearing their perspective. And of course, we get that time in the unit in the actual hospital, which I'm pleasantly enjoying so far. So I'm a healthcare explorer in the mom and baby unit specifically, and it's a dream. It's absolutely a dream. But anyway, so to the right, we have several pictures. Me and Cincinnati Children's. I've started there since I was a freshman in 2019. And so the top picture was as a volunteer, and I'm still a volunteer. I started off in the Cancer and Blood Disease Institute, but now I'm in the NICU. I absolutely love it. Very happy. So I think you just have different opportunities that you can get your hands on, essentially, and it's all going to be in your hands. At least speaking personally, you should, and if you really want to, I think you should take the initiative. That would be my recommendation. Since, of course, there's not always a direct correlation, especially between like the hospitals and University of Cincinnati as like an undergraduate program. But because of proximity, because of connections, because of the people you are going to meet, it is feasible to get these opportunities at these hospitals so close by to our campus. We're really in the center of it all. And everyone probably on campus has heard of these hospitals, especially if you're pre-med or pre-pharmacy or pre-dental or, pre-health. So yes, so it's you're able to do so. And so another picture on there, I'm actually a broadcast volunteer for the Cincinnati Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. So, weekly I record an episode about various global topics. I think growing up in Dubai, I wanted to combine that passion of, seeing a different perspective and being from somewhere else and, being quote like different and, to over here to education, to knowledge. I think it's a lot more powerful than we think it is. So, by reading, everything's virtual, but hopefully there's a listener at the end of that podcast, and majority of our audience is blind and visually impaired. So, they're kind of getting a different perspective, and they're learning as well, like we all are. And so I enjoy doing that. I've been doing that since COVID started in the middle of 2020, and I'm still doing that right now. Bottom right is when I shadowed a surgeon actually at Cincinnati Children's, and another amazing experience. So this is all optional, to just kind of emphasize that this is just all up to you and how much you want to take into your own hands and what you are passionate about. I'm interested in medical school and pediatrics, and so this is kind of how my picture looks to me. But you have the flexibility. You can shadow other types of physicians if you're interested in healthcare. And like I said, you can go about this in different ways. And so there's just two pictures of my second and third homes, both hospitals. But yeah, I don't have a picture on there, but of course I'm an international student ambassador as well since the beginning. Yeah, Nick and Stacy have been there for me since the start, since I was a little freshman, and it's always a great environment and working experience, no matter where you work, I think, but especially on campus, because they know you, and most of the time they know UC as well, so they know the rigor most of the times of the classes that you take and kind of the experiences that you're trying to undertake or that you're in the process of undertaking, and they really support you through it all. So yeah, I think that's it on me.
Awesome. Thanks, Yasmine. It's great how much initiative you've taken, to make all these opportunities happen. All right, we will hand it over to Tanisha.
Hey everyone. So I'm in engineering program, as I mentioned, like Fook and unlike Yasmine. So in engineering, like opposed to like arts and sciences, or how it's for like pre-pharmacy or like pre-dental or pre-medicine, there are like so many initiatives involved. It's not that scenario in engineering. The co-op program is embedded within like your curriculum. So everyone who is enrolled in engineering, like it's mandatory for them to do like 5 co-op like experiences, unless there's like an exception that you get from college. So as part of that, I was able to do my 3 co-op experiences, like past 3 co-op experiences with 2 companies, with a company called Emerson in Cleveland, and I was working as a software developer intern for them, which was my first 2 rotations with them. And then I also was able to work with an architectural firm in downtown. I was working for their technology team as a software developer intern as well, right here in downtown Cincinnati. So like these co-op experiences like helped me like narrow down on the field that I'm like particularly interested in within the field of like computer science. And my first 2 co-op experiences really allowed me to try out different roles within that spectrum of computer science field, so that I understand what is involved in the working industry with computer science as different role. And then I was able to like understand what I like the most out of it, which were all these like fueled like my passion like towards computer science, and helped me like learn more like hands-on as well. Yeah, like co-op experience is really like one of the important reasons that I like chose UC. So back to you, Nick.
Thanks, Tanisha. Tanisha, I have a quick question for you. What's one piece of advice you would give students about trying to find the best experience-based learning opportunity for them?
I think like being like attentive and like being active, I would say being active on your like search is one of the advices that I would give, because there are like so many opportunities that are like coming your like way, because there's like abroad co-op, or like there are like many research opportunities, or there are like companies coming through career fairs, or like companies organizing workshops, and there are companies giving seminars at the University of Cincinnati, and there are so many like platforms that you can like look for your like co-op experience, that it sometimes like you like lose track. And I think staying active and like looking at all the options that you have is like the one advice that I would give if someone is looking for like a co-op experience.
Thank you. I think that's great advice. Thank you for the information from the three of you. We are going to move into our breakout rooms now. So I have created a room for Yasmine, Coop, and Tanisha. I'm not assigning the room, so the attendees can move between these rooms and ask questions and have a conversation. It's really up to you. We'll be in the rooms for up to, say, about 20 minutes, right? And then, of course, we can share information, links, web pages to look at. Tanisha, Fook, and Yasmine can share the ambassador email or the office WhatsApp email with you all, so you can continue the conversation after today. All right, so we'll go ahead and move into the rooms now. Here we go.